Let's get all things Browns with our good friend Mary Kay Cabot from the Plain Dealer in Cleveland.com. She is on the fan hotline. Hi, Mary Kay. How are you?
Mary Kay.
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
Busy. I think we're all busy right now. I'm just let's start with the Dome because I'm just curious your thoughts on the mayor and the Haslam's now on board, and it seems like everything's going through now.
Well, for starters, this was going to happen one way or the other, so it's better that the city and the Cleveland Browns are no longer fighting each other on this and that it's no longer contentious. So that is very good. And the bottom line for me is I'm so pro-Cleveland and so pro-Northeast Ohio that anything that transforms our region and our downtown city of Cleveland, that's what I'm all about. So if this results in a better lakefront and more development in downtown Cleveland as well as the stadium, then I'm totally cool with that. But I definitely am so pro Cleveland proper that I want this to have a wonderful, wonderful outcome for our city. I think it's a gem. I think it's a hidden secret of this region, the Midwest. I really do believe in it. And as long as this has a happy ending for downtown Cleveland, then I'm cool with that.
I would agree with you. You know, we've heard about downtown struggles for a very long time, and we hear about lakefront development for a very long time, and there's been a stadium sitting there since about 1930. So maybe the stadium was getting in the way of some development that could really help the city, so we'll see.
Exactly. And maybe something really cool can go there. I've kidded around and said we should put a sphere there like they have in Las Vegas or something. I mean, I just would love people to brainstorm really, really cool ideas because I think Cleveland is absolutely amazing, situated right there on the lake, and I just think it can be so much better than it is right now. I travel all over, not just the country, but the world, and I see good things for the city of Cleveland. And like I said, I just want this deal and this move to result in something better for our city.
All right,
well said. Yeah. Well said.
All right, bravo. Let's move on to the team. What is going on with this team? Can you please help me figure this out?
Yeah, so much for the good stuff, Mary Kay.
Mary Kay, another frustrating game to watch on Sunday. Dolphins are coming to town, maybe a little bit of hope. We got smack talk between AFC North teams now with the Steelers and getting set to play the Bengals, and what direction is this team going in right now, and what are they trying to accomplish?
Well, when I look back to the off season and the preseason, I always felt, I really do believe, and I think the team believed this as well, that if they could get good, clean quarterback play, that they could hang around this season and make some things happen and win some football games. And none of that happened. None of that happened. It just went off the rails. It started with Kenny Pickett suffering a serious hamstring injury in training camp. That really just kind of derailed all the plans. He was supposed to start the season as the starter. It didn't help that Quinshon wasn't able to show up from week one either. But that was what was supposed to happen. Joe Flacco wasn't supposed to be the starter of this football team. He was almost an afterthought when they signed him in April. So you could see that they were designing the offense around what Kenny could do well and what Dylan could do well once he was going to be ready, maybe in the second half of the season. And it just did not go the way that they hoped that it would go. And Joe turned the ball over too much. He's gone. They had to turn it over to Dylan before he was ready. And in the meantime, you've got veterans on this football team that are suffering from the way everything has gone down. Jerry Jeudy is not playing Jerry Jeudy football right now, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the quarterback play just hasn't been what he needed it to be, and I think he's gotten into a pressing situation. I think he feels way too much pressure to make a play, and he even alluded to that after the game on Sunday. So he's not playing his best football. David Njoku is not playing his best football. I think when you don't have precision in the passing game, then I think that's when you're seeing some of the drops, and that's when you're seeing some of the, situations of getting, the passes tipped and batted and things like that. So it just didn't go the way that it was supposed to go from a quarterback standpoint. And I maintain if they had been able to plug in a good quarterback, maybe like a top 15 quarterback, not necessarily top 5, but had they been able to plug in a top 15 quarterback, they could have won 7-8 games this year and at least stayed relevant for a while.
Mary Kay, I don't want to dwell on this. I agree with you on the Pickett thought. Why is it that they traded him and Vegas immediately made him the backup? Because they wouldn't have made him the backup if you weren't healthy enough to go.
Well, because by that point, he had missed so much installation, so much training camp. He was too far behind. And Joe Flacco, by that point, had already sort of established that it was going to be perhaps 6 of one, half a dozen of the other with those two, just because of the way things had gone down, and Kenny missed so much training camp. And they knew that by the time it would be a switchover, that they were going to go to Dylan. They were not going to go to Kenny at that point, because then it was going to be all about trying to figure out what you have in these rookie quarterbacks. So it just became feasible for them to do that. And I don't know. I didn't really agree with it at the time. I still think that Kenny may have been able to come in at some point and help salvage the beginning of the season if Joe wasn't going to be working out. But for whatever reason, because he had missed so much time, so much chemistry, so much time on task in this new offense with these guys that he had never played with before, I think they just felt that once Joe was done, it was going to be Dylan's time.
Okay. What do you think this is going to be like on Sunday if Dylan doesn't look good and Shedeur backup? And fans are going to start. I would think fans are going to kind of lean into it a little.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier to look good against a bad football team than it was to go against the Steelers and try to look good in Pittsburgh against that very, very aggressive, grizzled veteran defense with so many rookies on this football team. That wasn't a fair fight, in my opinion. I mean, you've got Dylan out there starting his third NFL game, or was it even his second NFL game? Yeah. His second NFL game in Pittsburgh, and then you look out there and you've got Gage Larvidan and Isaiah Bond and a bunch of really, really young guys that are so inexperienced. That's not a fair fight. It just really isn't. So I think it will look better at home, less crowd noise, less hostile environment, not as aggressive of a defense, not as talented as a defense, and then they've got to go back to the drawing board and figure out some aspects of this offense that they can make work. They've got to figure out their red zone package. Their red zone package is not good right now. It's not working. They have to have some heart-to-heart talks with veterans such as Jerry Jeudy. I'm sure they already have. Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku. We don't even know if David Njoku is going to play in this game. He's got a knee injury. So they better hope that David can play, because he's a huge part of the blocking game and, of course, the passing game. So, but they need these veterans, the very few veterans that they have on this football team right now that are available to play from the skill position standpoint. They've got to know, those guys have to know they've got to come up big for this football team and for Dylan Gabriel. They have to support him. By the same token, Jerry can't be pressing. He cannot be trying to force it at all. He's just got to go out there and get back to playing football the way he knows how to play it, because he's really not doing that right now on every single down. So they have issues, but I think sometimes you can have a get-right game, and maybe this is it.
Mary Kay Cabot joining us, plaindealercleveland.com. You mentioned the red zone package. I'm still trying to figure out, Mary Kay, and I think Kevin has been a good play caller for most of his run here. I've always had an issue with the run. How do you have a 1st and goal from the 3 and not give it to Quinshon Judkins once, twice, 3, 4 times? Instead, you try and throw.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Maybe they were trying to outsmart the Steelers there, because the Steelers, even if you listen to Mike Tomlin again yesterday, talked about how job number 1 for them was to take Quinshon Judkins out of the game. They were gunning for him, and maybe they felt it was too obvious. So go against the grain and try to do something different. But sometimes you can overthink those types of situations, and you just have to try to give the ball to Quinshon on one of those plays and see if he can't get something done. And we know that when you go back to the Vikings game, they tried to do that with him in the fourth quarter, and they were seeing stacked boxes and other ways to try to take Quinshon out there. So I'm sure that's what they thought would happen in that situation. But I do get it. I mean, it's counterintuitive to look at those 3 plays and wonder why you would pass 3 times in that situation, or try to pass 3 times in that situation. So it's just going to be tough right now when you don't have a passing game. it is hard to keep Quinshon Judkins viable, and that's unfortunate because he really has been your best weapon over the previous 3 weeks. Wasn't able to get it done, and teams are going to see that, and that's what they're going to try to do. So you have to work around him as best you possibly can and make sure that you have other things going on. And it's just going to be tough. It's really going to be tough, but I think it'll be easier against this football team.
Mary Kay, do you think that, Paul, Andrew, Kevin, Jimmy, and Dee, they're still thought partners, or does it feel like the front office is irritated across the board? Like, are they getting along as well as they've always kind of given off this image that they have?
I think so. I think so. It doesn't mean that there's not some consternation inside the building. Nobody's happy right now. They're all searching for answers. They're all trying to figure things out. But I don't think it's a team divided. I don't think it's a front office and coaching staff divided. That's not how they roll. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry are in lockstep. They work very, very well together. They make decisions together. Andrew consults with Kevin on every single thing that he does. So I don't think it's like that. But these things take on a life of their own sometimes when a football team goes wrong and looks bad, and you just never know. You never really know what ownership is thinking or what the vibe is inside the building. So I can't honestly say that I have a handle on what Jimmy's thinking right now, but I don't think there's division within the ranks.
I mean, does the seat seem hot for Kevin? Because sitting out here, and we're not in Berea, the seat seems like it's getting a little bit hotter.
And Brian Callahan just getting fired.
Yeah.
Same record, first coach to go.
Well, I'd like to see a lot of head coaches come in here and work with this particular offense and see if they can't make some yards and make some points. I don't know how many would be able to with what we've seen so far. There have been tackle issues, just health issues at that very important position. Just all of these young guys, and then some of your veterans not able to perform the way that they're supposed to. So I don't know how many coaches could come in here and spin gold out of this. I'm not sure about that. So no, I don't think Kevin is on the hot seat right now. But like I said before, sometimes these things take on a life of their own, and things can change on a dime. But right now, I'm not feeling that.
Mm-hmm. Mary Kay, 3 trades already. Cam Robinson, the corner swap, and Joe Flacco. 2 things. Do you see more activity on the way for the Browns? And what did you think of Mike Tomlin calling out Andrew Berry?
I think Mike Tomlin was kind of in a mood yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw the little clip or not, but as he walked away from that press conference, he said something. It was actually kind of funny. He said, "You guys annoyed me today." Yeah. Go see if you can find it. It's kind of funny. So, sometimes you just get up there and you're in a mood, and people can be in a mood for whatever reason. I mean, he's got to get ready to play a football game on Thursday night against the Bengals. And instead of having Jake Browning, now he has to deal with Joe Flacco, who's got the arm to get it to, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Yoshi Vosh and those guys. So, he's probably a little annoyed that the Browns made this trade and improved the Cincinnati Bengals and gave them a chance to get back into the hunt. I mean, Mike Tomlin is out there trying to win the AFC North, and I think that Andrew Berry just made that a little bit harder for him, and that's what he was probably annoyed about the most.
More deals on the way? Do you think they'll be active?
I think so, yes. I think that they will definitely try to make some more deals. I don't think it means that they are ready to sell off their big name players or some of their better players right now. But I think Andrew will call every single team or talk to every single team like he pretty much does around this time of year. And there probably will be some more trades made. Again, I don't think that means they're going to trade away I don't think they intend to trade away David Njoku. That's not in the plans right now, but it wasn't in the plans to trade away Joe Flacco or Greg Newsome either. So if someone shows up on your doorstep or on your phone with a good enough offer, you're going to at least listen to it. So anything can probably happen.
I thought it was interesting to see the list that came out from the 4-Letter Network over the weekend that had pretty much your 3 best offensive linemen, the guys that you trust the most and have the history here. I'm real hesitant on trading any one of those guys with 2 rookie quarterbacks. I found that, I mean, I can understand contract parts of it, but I can't see them. You tell me, would you be looking to move any of your offensive linemen knowing that you have 2 young quarterbacks here?
No, the only reason that you would do something like that and make a trade right now is if you have a player on the decline and somebody's willing to give you something for him, and he's not necessarily somebody that's in your future plans. If somebody can rent and borrow a player for the rest of the season, it's really going to help them, and you can get something out of it when you are in restocking, retooling mode, then you would go ahead and do that. And there are a few players that might be in that category, but again, I don't see them trading away some of their key players, at least not right now. As you go through the next couple of weeks, and if they lose a couple more games, then the philosophy starts to change a little bit.
Mary Kay, as always, thank you very much. We do appreciate your time, and we're reading you every day in the Plain Dealer and Cleveland.com. Thanks, Mary Kay.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
We'll talk to you soon.